Welcome back to AFT Dice Season 12. It is round 5, Tuesday, the 17th of March, 2026. We've got match of the round, Richmond versus North Melbourne at the MCG. And we've got Hawthorn, the number one offense team in fifth, and the Lions, a number one defense team in sixth. West Coast are the biggest winning streak of three. Let's get stuck into it. It is the first game. It is Collingwood versus Brisbane at the MCG. Let's go to the first quarter of this match. Collingwood versus Brisbane at the MCG. First quarter has completed, and Collingwood, they've kicked 6 goals, 6 to Brisbane, 3 goals, 2 in that first quarter. It is Collingwood by 22 points, 42-20. Let's get stuck into the second quarter. Who is going to be in front at half time? Halftime siren has gone, and Brisbane, they've kicked 4 goals, 5 to Collingwood, 3-5. And at halftime, it is 16 points the difference. Collingwood's way, 65-49, Brisbane Lions. Let's get stuck in the second half of this game. Collingwood versus Brisbane. Brisbane are avoiding 3 losses. All right. After half time, Collingwood have kicked 6 goals, 1 to Brisbane, 4-3. And it is 26 points the difference to Collingwood. Collingwood 15-12, 102 to Brisbane 11-10, 76. Let's get stuck into the last quarter of this game. Who is gonna win it? Could well be Collingwood at home. And the final siren has gone, and Collingwood have won by 29 points at the MCG. Final scores: Collingwood 16-18, 114 to Brisbane 12-13, 85. All right, let's get stuck into the second game. It is Melbourne versus Essendon at the MCG. Doubleheader. First quarter underway in this game. And the first quarter siren has gone, and it is Melbourne kicking 2 goals, 5 to Essendon, 4-6. So Essendon are 13 points up, 30-17. Halftime siren has gone, and Essendon have kicked 3 goals, 2 to Melbourne, 4-1 in that second quarter. And it is Essendon by 8 points at halftime, 50-42. Let's get stuck into the second half of this game. Essendon in 13th, Melbourne in 10th. And after halftime, Essendon have kicked 2 goals, 3 to Melbourne, 1-5, and it's Essendon by 12 points, 65-53. Last quarter underway in this game. And the final siren has gone, and Essendon have won by 8 points. They jump into the 8 with 3 wins, 2 losses. Melbourne kicked 4 goals, 6 to Essendon, 4-2 in that last quarter. Final scores: Melbourne 11-17, 83 to Essendon 13-13, 91. All right, let's get stuck into the third game. It's West Coast versus Fremantle, Western Derby. In this game, first quarter has completed, and West Coast have kicked 5 goals, 6 to Fremantle, 3-4. West Coast are 14 points up. West Coast are going for their 4th win in a row. If they do, they'll be on top. Halftime siren has gone, and West Coast have kicked 3 goals, 5 to Fremantle, 1-4. And at halftime, West Coast are up by 27 points, 59-32. Third quarter underway in this game. at Optus Stadium. And the three-quarter time siren has gone, and West Coast have kicked 1-3 after half-time to Fremantle 2-5. And it is 19 points the difference West Coast way. Last quarter underway in this game. And the final siren has gone, and West Coast have won by 21 points. They've won their fourth game in a row, which means that they lost their first game of the season and won their last four games. West Coast final scores 13-20-98 to Fremantle 10-17-77. All right, next game. GWS Giants versus the Gold Coast Suns. It is a replay of the season 11 grand final. First quarter underway in this game. Gold Coast, they've come out, they've kicked 1-4 to GWS Giants 1-2. That's 2 points in difference going into the second quarter. Halftime siren has gone, and it is level 27 apiece. GWS kicked 3-1 in that second quarter to Gold Coast 2-5. So it's even at halftime. Third quarter underway. Three-quarter time siren has gone, and GWS after halftime have kicked 5 to Gold Coast 1-1, and it is 28 points the difference. GWS Giants could well win this replay of the grand final, and the final siren has gone, and GWS Giants have won by 32 points. GWS Giants have kicked 10-13-73 to Gold Coast 5-11-41. All right, so that puts GWS Giants in fourth place. Let's go to the next game. It is Carlton versus Port Adelaide at Marble Stadium. First quarter underway in this game. Brisbane Lions are being pushed out of the 8 now after that loss against Collingwood in the first game of round 5. Carlton, they've kicked 1-3 to Port Adelaide 4-6. 30, so it's 21 points the difference to the Power. Second quarter underway in this game. Halftime siren has gone. Port Adelaide, they kicked 2-2 to Carlton, 3-6, and it is 11 points the difference Port Adelaide's way. Third quarter time siren has gone, and Port Adelaide, they've kicked 4-5 after halftime to Carlton 3-1, and it is 21 points of difference to Power going into the last quarter. Final siren has gone, and Port Adelaide have won by 9 points at Marble Stadium against Carlton. So Carlton sit fourth last. Port Adelaide are in the 8 at the moment. Final scores: Carlton 13-16-94 to Port Adelaide 14-19-103. All right, next game, Richmond versus North Melbourne. This is the match of the round for round 5. First quarter underway in this game. Whoever wins this will be near the top. Richmond 2-2-14 to North Melbourne 2-5-17. All right, second quarter underway in this game. Richmond versus North Melbourne at the MCG. Halftime siren has gone, and North Melbourne have kicked 4-6 to Richmond 4-4 in that second quarter. And it is Richmond by They had 5 points against North Melbourne. Third quarter has completed, and North Melbourne have kicked 5 goals, one to Richmond 2-1. And at three-quarter time, it is 23 points of difference to North Melbourne, 78 to 55. Last quarter underway in this game. Who's going to win? And the final siren has gone, and North Melbourne have won by 20 points against Richmond. Final scores: Richmond 13-91 to North Melbourne 16-15, 111. All right, so that puts North Melbourne with a winning streak of 3 and West Coast winning streak of 4, both on top of the ladder with 16 points. All right, let's go. The next game is St Kilda versus Western Bulldogs. St Kilda and Western Bulldogs have not won a game this season. They're both on the bottom with 0 wins, 4 losses. All right, this is going to be a blockbuster. Who's going to win? Or it could be a draw. St Kilda 3-6 to Western Bulldogs 2-5 in that first quarter. All right, second quarter underway in this game. Who is going to win? St Kilda versus Western Bulldogs at Marvel Stadium. Halftime siren has gone, and St Kilda have kicked 6 goals, 1 to Western Bulldogs 2-4, and St Kilda 28 points up. St Kilda 61 to 33 Western Bulldogs. Third quarter underway. And the third quarter siren has gone, and St Kilda have kicked 6 goals, 6 to Western Bulldogs 1-4. And it is 60 points the difference to St Kilda, 103 to 43. Last quarter underway in this game. So St Kilda are going to be off the bottom of the ladder. And the final siren has gone, and St Kilda have won by 64 points. St Kilda 19-19, 133 to Western Bulldogs 9-15, 69. So that puts Western Bulldogs on the bottom of the ladder with no wins, 5 losses. So St Kilda, they've gained some percentage after that smashing against the Bulldogs. All right, second last game of the round, Sydney versus Hawthorn at the SCG. First quarter underway in this game. All right, Hawthorn have kicked 5 goals, 6 to Sydney, 3 goals, 2. And it is 16 points of difference to Hawthorn, 36 to 20. Second quarter underway in this game. Halftime siren has gone, and Hawthorn have kicked 4 goals, 5 in that second quarter to Sydney 2-6. At halftime, it is 27 points of difference to Hawthorn, 65 to 38. Third quarter underway in this game. Third quarter siren has gone, and Hawthorn have kicked 2 goals, 4 after halftime, and Sydney have kicked 1-3. And it is 34 points of difference to Hawthorn, 81 to 47 going into the last quarter. Final siren has gone, and Hawthorn have won by 39 points. Sydney 8-12, 60 to Hawthorn 13-21, 99. All right, so that puts Hawthorn in third place, and with Sydney down in 14th. All right, let's go to the last game of the round. It is Adelaide versus Geelong Cats, first quarter at Adelaide Oval. Quarter time siren has gone, and Adelaide have kicked 4-1 to the Cats 3-1. 6 points in its second quarter. in this game. Adelaide are fourth, Geelong are 11th. And Adelaide have kicked 4-2 in that second quarter to the Cats 2-5, and it is 15 points the difference to the Adelaide Crows, 51 to Geelong 36. Third quarter underway. Third quarter time siren has gone, and Adelaide, after half time, have kicked 6 goals, 3 to Geelong, 2-5, and it is 37 points the difference to the Crows, 90 to 53 last quarter. And the final siren has gone, and Adelaide have won by 64 points. They kicked 5 goals, 5 to Geelong, 1-2 in that last quarter. Final scores, Adelaide Crows 19-11, 125 to the Geelong Cats 8-13, 61. Wow. Okay, so that puts Adelaide in second spot, just behind North Melbourne on 0.6%. Adelaide, the number one offense team in second. Brisbane, the number one defense team in 10th. And the biggest winning streak at the moment is the West Coast Eagles by 4. Match of the round for round 6, it's Port Adelaide versus GWS Giants at Adelaide Oval. So it is 5th versus 7th. We've got North Melbourne on top, and the Western Bulldogs are still searching for their first win of the season. All right, that concludes round 5, Tuesday, the 17th of March, 2026. We'll see you for round 6, Saturday, the 21st of March, 2026.